What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. It is the 20th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $2,800 with 6 hours and 40 minutes left in the day. You guys hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? We've come down quite a ways from our all-time high of about $4,950. What is that? Almost $5,000, but just shy of that, right? Come down quite a ways, now sitting at $2,800, and it's likely that we even go lower. I'm assuming there are a bunch of people who are like me would think this area, prior resistance, is a perfect area for support, right? And it really is. It really is a perfect area, but I like to use the Fibonacci retracement tool in deciding where I think support is. Not just the price. The price helps, but you have to use them in combination and culmination, right? From a low to a high, what we've done, and we talked about it back here. I wish I just made the call at the high. We did think that we were going to find support here and move higher, so we got that wrong. But we're a lot more open to it now, obviously, with this day being so voluptuous to the downside, that you go from the 382 to the 236, and typically you go down to the golden ratio, right? There is a chance that we find support at the 0.5, and this is where I actually think that we will find support, which that right there is at approximately $2,600. Okay, $2,600. That's the 0.5. Typically, when you go from the 382 to the 236, you go down here or lower. Okay, somewhere in this range here. Okay, well, it looks like that's what we're doing now. It's not that bold of a call. We're only $200 away, literally right at this moment, right? So from this price here, if we zoom out now, oops, sorry, I thought I was doing this. That would take us far below these areas where I'm assuming a lot of novice traders and even experienced traders will probably make the speculative play of leveraging in long positions here. I want to look at the liquidation levels. I want to look at it with Ethereum. I don't know what's going on here. Why is it not loaded? We'll refresh it, see what comes up. Let's see here. I need some water. Do I not have any water? Yeah, you do. That's Bitcoin. Let's see. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was my daughter. She's like, me too. She has water, milk, and juice. So I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about. I literally brought her water today, and she's like, "Why are you giving me water?" I'm like, "To drink. If you want water, that's why." 30-day time frame. The longs are obliterated. The shorts are definitely piled on. That's for sure. You know, I think the reason why this liquidity looks so low is because we're missing something with CoinGlass. It doesn't show all the shorts, because if we look at the past 7 days, we have the same amount of liquidity that we do over the past 30 days. But I think again it's because of where the price is, right? Like these shorts are only read up to about $3,300, and I know there are shorts to be liquidated at higher prices. So this is maybe not an accurate representation, and that might be my that might be CoinGlass's lack of just like showing all the information there. But anyways, 7-day time frame here. A lot of shorts piled on. There are some longs piling on. 1-day time frame. Looking at this current price, max amount of shorts piled on. Some longs are piled on. I would think that we do see some volatility on our way down, but we likely do move lower. And some volatility. Imagine we find support here and we go back up to $3,000, an area that we thought we were holding a support, an area that if we broke would have signaled that we do go lower, right? But now moving back up to that area after breaking it, back testing it for resistance, people get optimistic because we're finding support off of this zone, right? And that'll just trap a bunch of longs, probably at the worst point in time. I wouldn't be surprised here at $2,830 if we did move back up to about $3,000 and then worked our way back down to $2,600. I want to look at the short-term stuff. I want to look at the indicators and see if we can get something that agrees with that, or are we just strictly moving down? Are we just going to plummet down here and then move up? Something else I want to address before we move on too much further is again the thought here, the very scary thought that Ethereum could drop all the way to its golden ratio or lower. If Ethereum drops 7%, that's scary in itself, because what does that mean for the average altcoin? The average altcoin then is going to drop over 10%, probably even over 14%. If Ethereum drops 20%, what's that mean for the average altcoin, right? That's pretty bad for the average altcoin. So it is possible, you guys, that we could go all the way down to the golden ratio to find support. And I want to be very clear, looking at this from a macro perspective, looking at it on the weekly time frame, pulling back to find support at the golden ratio is not a bad thing. It's sad, we were expecting to go to the moon, went to the opposite direction, but it doesn't take away the moon. It just postpones it. And instead of here, it's here, and you have a detour first. You know what I mean? And it might not be a straight line up, Why not? It's been basically a straight line down, and a straight line up since April. I wouldn't. I would be surprised if we went below $2,600, but I wouldn't take this idea off the table entirely. 2250 to 2050. Okay, just be aware of that as a possibility. Again, the call is that we find support at 2600, not that we go down here. But anything can happen. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and we'll zoom out from there. Okay, 1 hour here, building volume as we're breaking out. Likely there's more to go. Right. Typically, at the end of a move, like let's say here, right, you're consolidating, you're building volume as you're moving higher, you're building volume as you're moving higher, right? Did the move stop here when you started building volume whenever you broke out higher here? No. You pushed higher and your volume decayed, and then you reversed down. Right? Same thought, but to the opposite effect. We just broke out of this level, volume's building. Is this the end of the move? Probably not. We probably have lower and lower to go as volume declines. Then we'll start to reverse, right? We'll probably go down to, again, that 2600 level, give or take $50 in either direction. Maybe we go just below 2600. Maybe we go just above or just below 2700. It doesn't have to be specifically 26. And if we go to 25, who cares? Nothing's broken. That doesn't mean that we're going to the golden ratio. It could, but we'll go from there. I'll keep you guys up to date with this daily, probably. But looking at the 1 hour time frame here, no bullish divergence. I love it. I love it whenever we see this kind of stuff. 33 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame here. I bet that there were so many people who on the last hour saw this bullish divergence, thought they knew what they were doing, and they went long. Now they're in the red. Classic, man. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if as soon as you get rid of this bullish divergence, right when you get the lower low, that's when you bounce. That's when you recover. Look, we did the same thing over here. As soon as you got rid of the bullish divergence, as soon as you got a lower low in your RSI, that's whenever you started to move up. To be fair, I guess you did form bullish divergence here, and then you moved up. To be completely fair, that's actually a bad example. But still, the point being, maybe here, instead of finding bullish divergence between these 2 points, maybe now we're getting set up to find bullish divergence at a different point. But that still promotes the idea that we do have lower to go. And again, I don't care where we bounce to. We're going to $2,600. If I'm wrong, if we don't go to $2,600, if we're getting too bearish too soon here. Let's see. Prove me wrong. I need a day to close back above the 382 to suggest that I'm wrong. Now, a day to close. You can move above there, but if you're not closing above there, it doesn't matter. You could wick all the way up to 3,200, but if you're not closing above $3,045, it doesn't matter. Right? A close above this level is what will invalidate the idea to go down to the 0.5 or the golden ratio. It's very improbable that we stop here and that we reverse and we move up. Anything can happen, though. And at the point of which I'd be very convinced that we have a low. Because to be completely fair, we could close back above the 382 and still move lower. We could still have a lower high. The point at which it's completely irrefutable that the low is in is when we do close back above $3,670. When we close above this line, close above it on a daily basis, that validates the low wherever it may be, right? Whenever we close back above this level here. It's the 236, that in itself is significant, but prior support, prior resistance, clearly the significance is there. Once we close above that, that validates. It's a significant thing. We're going to move higher. But ultimately, $3,000, $3,045, closing below it like this, I would just assume that we do go lower. There was a little bit of hope here. We moved down, we closed, and then we closed back up, but yesterday we closed lower, and now we're moving lower. I think it's inevitable at this point that we do go right to the heart of this kind of consolidation phase here. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Yes, let's do that. 4 hour time frame has some bullish divergence on the RSI, bullish divergence on the stochastics, and I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see if we've got it. Yes, no bullish divergence on the MACD. Kind of neutral on the MACD, but bearish. Definitely all of these are implying that we have lower to go as time goes on, but we might find some momentary support here, and it just makes sense that we might, right? Because lower lows here, lower highs here, we're right in that zone. Come back up to 3,000, find resistance there, and then you'll probably make your plunge down to $2,600. That's my thoughts over the coming days. Probably over the weekend. If not over the weekend, then very early next week we'll be down at like $2,600. Okay. Looking at the daily time frame here, there was, I should say, bullish divergence. Kind of, but I don't know how much I'd weigh on that. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. That's definitely not what I meant to do. What the heck happened there? Did I add an alert? I don't want to add. Was there? It says competition. Join the leap. Oh yeah, we're definitely joining the leap. You guys aware of the leap? The last time we did this, I'm gonna do this again. We'll see. We'll do this again. Join the leap. See competitions. Hold on. Let's just see real quick for anybody watching this. Yeah, with real money prizes and real practice up for grabs. Pick your contest, improve your edge. Join the contest. November 10th. Damn, I'm 10 days behind. Ah, damn. I'll do the one on December. You guys, if you want to do it, look, there's 10,000 people in it. There's normally like, yeah, tens of thousands of people that get into these competitions. It's free. Join the contest. You can only trade certain things. I'm going to be doing this one if you guys want to do it. It's only going to be a 10-day. It looks like this was a bit longer, November 10th to December 5th, but December 8th to December 19th, that's not that long. That'd be a nice little what's the word I'm looking for? Competition. $50,000 plus 200 plans. This is just plans. These are smaller ones here, but still, it's just fun to compete. Anyways, I'm getting distracted here. Ethereum, for anybody that wants to, it's on TradingView. You can do it for free. Daily time frame. Bullish divergence on the MACD. Okay, that's nice. That's actually really nice bullish divergence there. To maintain that bullish divergence, man, we would need to show some life. So we're probably going to give this bullish divergence up then. Is that what's going to happen? Is that's probably what's going to happen? We're going to build bullish bearish momentum. Maybe. Either that or we do find support right here. I'll accept that I'm wrong if and when we close prices above like $3,670. Until then, I very much believe we go to 2,600. I could be wrong, but that's my expectation. Low here to a high here. 1414 just below. Low here to a high here. 1414 just below. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? If we find support here, there really is a solid chance that we do go higher than $3,000. But at the moment, I'm expecting, and I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's just some water running through my house. I do expect that we go to 3,000, then we'll probably pull back to 2,600, find support, and then we move up. That's the thought. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I'm getting a little bit distracted here, so hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. As we're moving lower, you can see that volume is decreasing on a daily basis, so that does signal that we're approaching the end of this overall kind of downward sloping consolidation. We will break out to the upside. The next target when we do break out is considered to be somewhere around $8,000 to $10,000, and it's very possible that Ethereum is at the price of $8,000 to $10,000 by the end of 2025, in like the next month and a half, if not sometime in January. But I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Think about entering those trading competitions. It's not too late to enter this one. I already have it pulled up. It's not too late to enter this one, but I mean, let's just see. I'm gonna click join the contest. Does it have the leaderboard? Yeah. I mean, they're already up 124K, right? And this is not real money. I think you start with 100. You start with 100, so they've already doubled. Yeah, you start with 100K, but it's just fake money, right? It's not real money. And a lot of these are AI traders too, so you're just gonna have a hard time catching up to them. But you might not have a hard time getting into the top 10 or into the top 100 even. It's just fun sometimes to compete. You'd be surprised how bad people are. Like, it's pretty easy to make it to the top like 10%, top 1%. But anyways, I've got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Just talking about avenues where you can make money outside of crypto too, just by using your technical capabilities. All right, take care.